Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining us tonight for another podcast. We are happy to be here with you guys. I am Kat, the nurse flipper. If you do not know, that is Dalton. He's hanging out in here with us tonight. We are joined by my co-host Rod, picking and punching, as well as these are my thrifting buddies, guys, in person. These are the two ladies I go thrifting with. We have Miss Elena, Treasure Diva Thrifts, as well as Marsha, who you guys always see in the chat. She's our main moderator, dropping the links for everybody and keeping the chat clean for you guys. So I'm happy to have her on here, and she's close to 1,000 subscribers. So we need to get her to 1,000 subscribers. So drop your link, Marsha, like throughout the night. I haven't heard from Mark. I don't know if Mark will be here tonight, but I see a super chat from my friend Drew. We'll grab that. And then I am not going to forget, if you missed it last week, I forgot to let the guests do introductions for like the first time ever. So I'm going to make Elena big and then Marsha, and then we will get to your questions. Get them in early, guys. We have 10 in there already before we started. So here is Elena.
Hello, my name is Elena, and I'm with Treasure Diva Thrifts, and I primarily sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I'm toying with doing live sales. I'm still trying to get over my fear, but I enjoy thrifting and hanging out with these ladies, and yeah, I'm trying to do my death pile listings today. So glad to be here.
Yay, here's Marsha.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be here, actually, so you can see my face instead of just me commenting in the chat all the time. I do primarily sell on eBay, and as she said, I am very close to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm thinking about 815 right now, and I just dropped a really neat video of a private tour of the new thrift store that I'm working at. I dropped that a few days ago, so if you could go check that out. And yeah, it's just good to be here again.
Perfect. All right, we got 2 super chats. Oh, look, Stephanie said she knows Elena from the Ocala Bins. That's awesome.
Hi, Stephanie.
All right. I need to make a new super chat. I have my alligator super chat. I need to do a new one, but I don't have a videographer. Maybe Dalton. Could you come video mommy swimming one day? He's like, yeah, no. Drew sent a $4.99 super chat. I'm gonna give him my alligator one, but that's like my goal by the end of summer is to get a new one. Because since this video was made, I've lost 66 pounds. I'm up to 66 pounds now. I'm super excited about. So here you go.
Isn't it?
Dalton just said, Mom, why were you swimming with that gator? I said, I wasn't swimming with the gator. It just looked like I was swimming with the gator.
Whoa.
All right. Nicole also sent a $4.99 super sticker. I hate that we can't see the super stickers on StreamYard. All right. I'm going to give you my octopus. So here you go. Thank you so, so much. Dalton's calculating things over here. That's my kid. All right.
Yeah.
Wendy has the first question, and she said, do you have any tips on selling vintage TV trays? I found a set of 8. Would you break up the set? They are really dirty. How should I clean painted metal? Water only. I ruined an item before with magic eraser.
I've never had to deal with anything like this, so I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Does the TV trays come in a stand with the 8, or are they just like loose? I might break them up in sets of 4. Is what I would do if they don't have the stand with it. Otherwise, I'd probably try to sell it as a set. As far as cleaning it, use a very soft rag with just some soap and water. That's all I would use.
I think most families now would probably only need 2, so maybe sell them in pairs of 2. When it comes to cleaning, you got to be very careful, especially if you're using anything that has. So one thing I learned from my clean, like action figures, toys, other stuff, anything that has bright colors or certain paint on it, you have to be very careful because you do not want to break what they call, break the paint on that stuff. You don't want to have a color break in there, which in return can leave marks or indentations there. I would do soap and water first, and then just work my way. I would do just regular wet cloth and do that first, and then maybe try a little soap, dish soap. Dawn dish soap does do wonders, and it protects the paint on there. And then eventually, if you're on a surface, I use Goo Gun and other things, but you gotta be very careful because if you rub hard enough with that will take paint off, or because it takes magic marker and other things off. So you gotta be very careful. So I use that very selectively. But yeah, I mean, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because as far as breaking up the set, I agree with Rod. I think I would do the 2 and then put, 4 lots available. That way, if they want 2, if they want 4, maybe they want 6. That you would still have the 2 left over and they could buy what they wanted. The painted metal, like, I feel like a lot of people might resurface that because saying that they're dirty. I would probably try soap and water, and if some of the paint came off, so be it, because you got to kind of look at, on one hand, it's going to be really it's dirty. So it's dirty versus chip paint.
You got to be careful if it has a design on it. So some of those TV trays, is a TV tray that used to have they have Ghostbusters TV trays. They have Marvel TV trays.
Yeah, let us know.
So that makes a big difference, because if it's an actual graphic or something on there, you might want to let it be. But as Kat would say, if it's just regular paint on there, then
if it's just a solid color, yeah. I would soap and water it. If it does have the design, Blessed Baubles is saying she just dusted. I agree, because anything you do, even water, is going to possibly take a design off. Elena, where were you live? Somebody said you just did a live.
I would like to do a live, but I don't.
Hold on a minute. You're okay coming on here for 2 hours doing a live, but you don't want to do live selling for half an hour.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
So Kat, can I maybe, if you do it, come watch you at your house so I could see hands-on?
I rarely do it. It's Shannon, but you're welcome to come watch her because you have to come pick up stuff. I have your stuff. And I know she just scheduled 2 for tomorrow. I don't know if you want to come tomorrow. She's doing knickknacks tomorrow and jewelry tomorrow. And I think she's doing Thursday too. So she's been doing almost every day, Monday through Friday.
Maybe I'll come tomorrow.
I didn't mean to call you out. I was just dawned on me. I was like, you just started the show saying you want to do live.
Because I have,
and it is, you're talking though. It's the same thing. I mean, that's why I was so comfortable at doing the live shows, because you're on here, you're talking to people. It's the same thing, and you're fine on here. I think you'd be fine. And it's just a matter of doing it. But if you come, you can watch her pinning things and the back, the
it's
back.
It's no worse than doing your first YouTube video. If it's just, you do it and get over it.
Suck it up and just do it.
If you mess up, just make a joke about it. Or I would tell you this, one thing I learned about when I did professional wrestling and you're performing from a live crowd, I messed up in front of a live crowd, but if I don't act like I messed up, then the audience doesn't know I messed up.
Nobody knows. Exactly.
So that's in your own head. So I would say that's why I have no fear doing live now, because I was nothing's worse than performing live. That was a bad guy. So I got ridiculed and name called and beer bottles thrown at me and all kind of other stuff. So yeah, this is a piece of cake, Cat's crowd is very nice to me. So
compared to what he's used to.
Compared to the drunks at the bar.
All right. Teacher Treasure Chest says, for those that sell on Depop, do you offer international shipping? And if so, how do you set it up?
I sell on Depop, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do pirate ship on it. I just need to spend time figuring it out. I just do their standard shipping. I didn't even know they have international shipping.
I don't sell on Depop, so.
I don't sell on Depop.
I don't sell on Depop either. So hopefully if some of you guys in the chat sell on Depop, let her know, because we don't have a ton of us here that are selling on there, unfortunately. I think it was either Depop or Grailed, one of them. I listed stuff, I had no sales, and they banned me. And I was like, what did I do?
You get banned a lot, Kat.
I get banned. I'm bad. I get banned all the time. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right. Pharaoh Cat says, do you know a seller possibly? Does anybody, I'm going to put this out for the chat. This isn't really for the panel. Does anybody know of any sellers in New Jersey that want to buy her inventory because she's going through divorce and need to focus on that? So if anybody's in New Jersey and wants to buy her inventory, put it in the chat. So I'm assuming it's a she. So she will know, and maybe you guys can. I think it'll let you exchange emails in the chat. You just can't put links. It should let you exchange if you need to.
Oh, she could probably go on the Nextdoor app and look for people, or the Facebook groups in her area.
Yeah.
Resellers probably reach out that way too.
I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm 20 minutes from Jersey. I know a bunch of resellers in that area. So send me
Let us know what kind of stuff and all that too.
Yeah, let us know what kind of stuff and what part of Jersey you're in. Are you more towards like New York, or are you more towards like Philly area? So there's a big difference there. And then send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook at Picking and Punching. I might be able to send some people your way depending on the type of stuff you're selling. So.
All right. Kathy wants to know, have you ever used those space bags that reduce the size of like comforter sets and bedding and things like that?
Actually, I just bought some last week, and I put a comforter in it, and it does save on space. So I'll let you know how it works out. So far, it's holding its shape. I haven't lost any air yet. So far, so good. Actually,
I've sent a large blanket in one, and I sent a very, very large stuffed animal that I needed to squish down. And then once you squish it, what I do is take my packing tape and just make sure it's completely taped over the nozzle thing, just to make sure it doesn't leak or come loose in shipping. And they both made it fine. So
I have not, so I do not know.
I bought them with the best of intentions, but I have this habit of, I like buying like higher end comforters to resell, and they're bulky. We could not stuff that sucker in a space bag. Like, I had the biggest space bags and it would not go in it. So you know what I ended up doing? I ended up putting it on my bed and said, like, forget this, because it was just so bulky that I just, like, it wouldn't go in. And then I haven't used it for other ones. We have a lot of room, so we like stack the blankets up in the closets. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I have them. And I haven't used them. I tried to use them on one and it didn't work, and then we didn't try again. All right. Diane says she just discovered that Mercari sends offers to new likers using the amount of your last offer. I thought I was going crazy. Doesn't seem to be a way to opt out. Any thoughts? So again, chat, if you know anything about this, definitely chip in and let us know.
I don't know.
I don't sell on Mercari.
This I don't know, but I can quick pull it up and see. It says Mercari now automatically sends the offers to new likers as part of the beta program, meaning sellers can't opt out. So, yeah, it says this feature, which was started last month, sends the most recent offer to a seller made new likes for their items. The buyer accepts, the transaction is completed at that offer price. Sellers have been reported to be caught off guard by sales for the automatic offers.
Where did that come from?
Especially when the price was lower than desired. Well, that sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
You know what is new on eBay? I don't know if you've seen it, Rod. I don't remember. I don't think it's on the app. It's only on desktop. But eBay has now where if you send an offer, you can choose how long that offer goes out, which I like because I do like my 10% for 90 days. my 35 for the next 9 months. And then after a year, I do 55. So you can now, like, if it's new stuff, I can put my 10% and tell eBay, okay, send 10% for the next 90 days, and it'll send auto ones. So before it was either turned on or turned off, but now eBay has the option where you can choose the length. I think it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or a year. And so like my old stuff, I'm okay putting a year, and then it's automatically sending them. And with it automatically sending them, it's going to send to those people as soon as they're interested. Like I send a few times a day, but I'm not doing, as quick as they can. So I'm happy to have seen like that function come available here in the last week on eBay.
Do you know what I would love? I wish eBay would incorporate. Because how many times have you listed something on eBay and then within the first hour or two, you get an offer and it's maybe 10, 20% lower. And you're like, I know I should accept this offer, but I don't want to because I just listed the item. I think I get more on it. So on Whatnot, when someone sends me an offer on Whatnot, because I might not go on my Whatnot app maybe every 2 days or so, something like that, but I'll get offers sometimes and not realize I had an offer, and it'll be sitting there for like a week. So you can go in there. So when they send offers on Whatnot, it stays for like, I think up to like maybe a couple weeks or 30 days or whatever. I wish eBay would incorporate that, because if I list a new item on eBay, someone sent me an offer, maybe I don't want to accept an offer right now, but a week from now, I would be willing to take less for the item. So I wish those offers, when people send an offer, would just stay there and stagnate. And then you probably have people get those,
but I would think people might forget, and then like they go buy another one, and then you decide to accept it and they already bought one. Like they would have to remember to go like retract the offer. Would be like the only downside I could really see. All right. Lucas said, I bought some 1990s Barbie play sets, like a wedding chapel. The box was taped. Should I open the box? Okay, Lucas, if you're still in chat, I want to know, is it factory taped or did somebody tape it? That's what I want to know. So should I open the box to show what's inside or sell as is? So let's answer that both ways. If it is new old stock taped or if it's taped by the person, what would you do in those two situations?
Ooh, I've never sold Barbie play sets. It just depends if you're going to damage it to show what it looks like. I don't know. I think I would sell it as is. It just depends what the situation is.
Not factory tape. He just answered. So whoever owned it before taped it.
Then I guess I would show it.
Yeah, if it's not factory tape, I would definitely open the box, because you don't know if pieces are missing or the condition of it. If it's factory tape, then I would leave it alone. That way you could sell it, unopened box.
I sell a lot of vintage toys and stuff like that over the years, and if it's factory tape, do not open it. And unless the item got damaged or water damage or something to it, that would be the only exception to that. But if it's factory tape, absolutely not. Do not open it. Now, if it's just regular tape, 100% you're going to open it, take stuff out, and make sure what you want to do is first off, see the instructions in there, because if the instructions are in there, it will let you know how many pieces are actually in the set. Then you want to count all the pieces that you do have there, lay everything out, and take photos of it. I'm assuming if it's a play set, more than likely it was played by children, so more than likely it's probably missing pieces. So that's why it's very important that you do open up and take photos of it. And by doing that, it actually may be more financially better for you to actually sell it in parts, replacement parts and stuff like that, depending on how those items are listed. So what I would do is I would go through and double check the list, kind of see if those parts are selling, stuff like that, because when people get those sets, kids play with them, especially with small pieces. Sometimes the small pieces can actually sell just as much or a little bit below what the actual whole set sells for, because of how they sought after piece.
Yeah, you can research it. I just did my Barbie clothes video, and there are a lot of like individual tiny pieces that sell for a lot. Shannon was saying she sold a single Barbie shoe for $80. A single Barbie shoe.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So it can be crazy. I would 100% open it, because you don't know, like it might not even be the wedding chapel. And if it's not the wedding chapel, I would sell the wedding chapel box empty if it were me. And you can sell it empty and then part it out if you find that the pieces are selling well, just search wedding chapel, see what's selling for what, and yeah, and sell the box empty if you do part it out is what I would do.
Yeah, boxes, believe it or not, stuff in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, boxes actually can sell just as much as the actual playset, the actual thing. Same thing with like video game consoles and stuff like that, because people want them for display. Most families threw those away, so if you find them in good condition, they can sell for a premium. So sometimes I will, even have everything complete, I would sell an open box item and just sell the box separately because I actually make more money in the long run.
All right. Patty wants to know, how do you purchase a label at UPS instead of through eBay? I had a sale of a local pickup item, then they asked her to ship.
I've never done that. I just always use my printer at home and pay for everything at home. So I don't know.
What I would probably do, because I don't know if you can go back and add a tracking number if you went there, got the label, and put the tracking number in, being a local pickup. Either that, or I would cancel the order and then have them order it again with the option to ship.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing, just the fact that because you can't charge them for a label. I've actually had this issue one time in the past, and what I did was I created a separate listing just for the shipping portion of it, and I had someone that like they wanted like different shipping, and then bought that, and then combined the two and shipped it all together. That's one option you can do, but just probably be easier if you just cancel that listing, relist it, and just have them to repurchase it. Because I'm assuming they didn't pay for any type of shipping, so now you're going to be eating that shipping if you do go to UPS and try to purchase the shipping label. Not to mention you won't get the eBay discount because you purchase it in store, which is going to charge you a premium compared to actually buying it on eBay, which gets
They're saying there's more to Patty's question. Did we get it? Is the question. It doesn't look like we did. Let me see what time this was. Hold on.
And
let me see if I can find it.
8:03 is her comment.
Public service announcement. If you have a question that's going to be in multiple portions, put part 1, part 2. That way we can make sure they get the other second part of it.
So she said it was a jackalope skull for $255. She kept it local pickup, but she tacked the shipping cost on. So she did get paid for the shipping. Now they have to send me the QR code so it looks like they picked it up. So what I would do is I would buy the UPS label on Pirate Ship and ship it, and tell them when they get it that they need, like, make sure they understand they have to give you that QR code. It's not going to do anything if they don't. I've had one that never went away. I mean, it eventually went away, but the seller or the buyer never answered me, and I forgot to do it when they were here. But I had someone that picked up the wicker table a couple weeks ago, and I didn't do it, and she just texted me the code, and I was able to put it in. So they can like text you or email you the code once they get it. And I would go through Pirate Ship so that you can still get the discount on it is what I would do.
Yeah, I've never done this.
Let's see. Kapow Eagle says, if a seller makes an item and it's lost or late, and the UPS denies the claim because they want a receipt of purchase, is the seller just out? So she said it was a real silver dollar on a sterling silver clip worth $75.
I've never had this happen, so I don't know.
Well, you're going to be responsible for refunding the buyer, and then you're just going to have to deal with the post office. I don't know. What do you mean, receipt of purchase of the shipping label? Is that what they're talking about?
No, of the item.
Or the item?
Wait, I'm confused on the question.
I'll tell you what. You just screenshot the eBay sale, and that's your receipt. That's all you need. But it doesn't matter what you paid for it. The value of it is what your buyer paid for it. So I have gotten multiple USPS claims and gotten my money back by using a screenshot of the sale.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's all you need is a screenshot of your sale, especially if it's lost. If it's lost, they are going to give you a check. If it's damaged, then that's a different story. But yeah, the receipt of purchase is the receipt of purchase from your buyer. So you just screenshot the eBay sale and they will take that, because I've used that multiple times over the years.
You can also do the there's a drop down by the when you go to ship out an item, it's called view payment details. Oh no, I'm sorry, order details. The order details will show you too. It'll give you like an actual breakdown, because there's like a print sheet, I think, that you can actually provide with your orders if you really wanted to provide a receipt. It's built into eBay actually. I think it's print packaging slip, isn't that it? Yeah, if you print packaging slip,
I just screenshot my listing is all I've ever done.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if the buyer wanted that, like, you can actually, so if anyone ever want to send a receipt with your items, it's print packaging slip, just like Whatnot does, and actually you can actually have a full breakdown. I just clicked on one right now. It shows the item, it shows shipping costs, taxes paid, and the total amount of the order number, who bought it, their address, phone number, all kind of contact information. So.
All right. Nicole said, if a person gives you a bad review, do you just leave it alone, or do you send a response? Ellen is perfect to be in the hot seat.
There's a second part to this one.
Or if they leave you a bad review and it's not legit, do you report it to eBay?
So I've done both. I just had a neutral review, but it was kind of bad. And I kind of responded not professionally. And then I contacted eBay through the messenger, and basically the lady purchased a shower curtain, and I had shipped it out right away. And then she messages me 24 hours later, and she said, I changed my mind. Can I return it? I said, sure. So she returns it, and obviously I don't refund her return shipping. And she was mad, so she left me a bad review, or a neutral review, and eBay still removed it. So I do both.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend on the situation. If it's obviously not legit, yeah, I'm gonna fight it and report it to eBay and whatever. If it's something I did and I deserved it, then you just put a professional response and leave it at that.
Yeah, so it depends on what the feedback is. Depends what it's like for. If it's something like, I respond to every single comment. So anytime I get a bad review, the first thing you want to do is respond to it. I will try to reach out to the buyer, and if I get a negative review, I try to reach out to them the next day and to try to make things right, because I understand that leaving a review is usually an emotional response, and that they're upset. And if you give them like 24 hours to cool down, they're usually more level-headed the next day. And I just explain to them, hey, I'm a small business. I would be willing to fix the situation, try to do that. If it's not legit and stuff like that, and there's anything in the messages that was sent to me by the buyer or in the review, then I would you would have to send them a thing to change it, say this is not legit, which they're not going to do. They're going to deny it. So then you can report it to eBay, and I just report that buyer to eBay and then have them try to remove it, because if it's not legit, it could damage my business reputation.
Yeah, so I also always respond if it's neutral or negative. I lately use Grok, which is X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, AI that's similar to ChatGPT, because I have a temper and I'm very hot-headed, so I would tell them what I think about them. I will tell you though, it's not great to be hot-headed if you want them to change that review. Okay. 100%. And so I had a negative. I haven't had a negative in months. We shipped out a terrine. It got broken shipping. It was shipped very well. The lady said there was tons of bubble. It just broke. And so I told her, though, it was $160 terrine. And honestly, the bottom and the spoon are probably worth $60 to $70. So I did ask her to send the unbroke part back, and I would give her a full refund. If it hadn't been worth something, I wouldn't have done it. And she did not want it because the prettiest piece was the top and it broke. So she didn't have an interest in keeping it anyway. So I immediately answered her, immediately handled the situation. She was fine with shipping it back. And then the next day I look and there's a negative feedback and about the shipping, and she put pictures, and I was like, I answered you and I was really nice and I thought we were good. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, I don't think the negative's fair. I handled your situation. I'm going to give you a full refund. You know, I'm not sure why you left negative feedback, but that can impact my sales. And I do this for a living. And so she never answered me. And then she wrote me and said, hey, the package is going out tomorrow morning. And I'm like, hey, could you respond to my last message about the negative feedback? And that's all I said, because I think she didn't see it, because she wrote me and said, hey, I'm shipping it out. Well, it turns out she thought that that review was like private for me. She didn't realize that it was a public review. And so I sent her a feedback revision request. She changed, and I said, I don't need you to change it to positive. If you're comfortable with neutral, I just really do not want a negative. She changed it to positive and said seller handled the issue, item was broken shipping, and got rid of the negative. So, and I didn't even have to use Grok for that. I was nice all by myself. Yeah, you can.
Who are you right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? So yeah, so I got it removed. And I was happy with that. And I did request that eBay remove it, because I was like, this is a shipping issue. Like, it wasn't, you know, like the lady said, like it was packaged well, and eBay did refuse to remove it. So I did try eBay removal. It did not get removed, but the buyer revised it. So yeah. But always respond professionally. And if you're like me and hot-headed and can't respond professionally, use Grok or Chat GPT to do it for you. That's my advice. Anna says on eBay, and you can answer this on any platform. So what happens if an item is in someone's cart? Is it a sure sale?
Not usually. A lot of people like to window shop, in my experience.
Yeah, it's definitely not a sure sale. I mean, it's like you go on Amazon and clicking a bunch of stuff in your cart, and then 2 months later, you're like, oh, forgot to put that in there. So, yeah, it doesn't mean much.
So for me to get, like last night, I was actually adding items to my cart because I was trying to see what the total cost would be with taxes, shipping, and because I was going to try to send offers to some people. So I want to see what the price was there so I can kind of calculate that a little bit more, because certain different areas had different shipping. So it was calculated shipping. So that's why I was adding to my cart. So it's not going to be, people add stuff to their cart. My wife adds a ton of stuff to her cart in Amazon, and then the next morning she wakes up and then she realizes that she actually doesn't need it and takes it out. So,
yeah, I like window shopping online. I will like fill up a cart like for shopping therapy, and then I close it and never buy it. I'm like, I don't really need that stuff, and I'll just close it. I have to be careful because Brooke and I use the same Amazon, and I do that on Amazon sometimes, and then Brooke will like go to buy something, she buys like my whole cart, and I'm like, oh crap. But yeah, so definitely not. And you'll see, like, I know on Etsy, I don't know if eBay does it, on Etsy I can see like item in 4 people's carts. Well, 4 people put it in and haven't checked out. And I think like some people put it in there maybe like waiting for payday, or, you know, whatever reason it might be, like Rod said, wanting to see the total. For me, most times if I'm going to buy something, I buy it. I don't put it in my cart. Just except for shipping supplies, like, because I know I'm buying like multiple from one seller, those I will put in the cart and then pay at once. But like regular stuff that I buy, I don't put in the cart. I just click buy now. All right, LJ in the house. LJ had a sale to Canada. It went to the international hub and then DHL, which is now saying duty tax assessed for package awaiting payment. The buyer has not responded. Will it come back to me since they have not paid?
I've never had this issue, so I don't know. Ooh.
I'm not sure if it comes back or if they just seize the package. I'm not sure.
So I've had this happen where my package got stuck at customs and they wanted more money or something else happened. But eBay handled it. The buyer got a refund, and I was able to keep my money, and eBay just ate it. So.
Yeah, who told us? Somebody, it was either a question last week or somebody on the panel had like the same exact issue. And I think they ended up getting it back, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, Brad, Marsha is pulling double duty tonight. Marsha's still doing the links and all that. She told me I was not allowed to put her in the hot seat if I wanted her to do the links. That was the deal. She said no.
Nope.
All right. Oh, wait. No, Todd sent a super chat. He said, nice cat, no way. No. Maybe like 10% of the time I can be nice. Maybe. What are we going to give Todd? Since he's saying no, what do I want to do here?
He needs a kitty cat. We need a kitty cat.
Kitty cat? Okay, I'll do the kitty cat. Here we go. Meow, 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 meow. Elena got the live cat.
He's hanging out with me tonight.
Cat, check your phone when you get a second.
If it's what I think it is, I don't know how we fix it.
Oh, okay.
What, me backwards?
I
No.
don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna
try.
Okay.
I'll try. All right. Sarah Dean said on high-end items like jewelry, etc., even though it's insured, is it tacky to request a signature?
I think it depends on the amount they spend on it. You want to make sure, I think anything over 300, you would want to request a signature. Is my take.
It would depend on if you put it in the listing or not. Because if I bought something and then after the fact you ask for a signature, I'm not home. So now I'm kind of stuck because I can't be home to sign for it. If I would have known that would have made a difference in the purchase. So you can reach out to the buyer maybe before you ship it, but
I don't think it'll make a difference in the purchase, just because the UPS and them, they will hold it for up to, I think, 10 days or 12 days for you after, if they can't deliver it. You can just go pick it up at the actual like postal service or pick it up at the actual facility. I would message the buyer though and let them know that they're gonna have to sign for it before the item gets. So after you ship it, like, hey, just let you know the item signature is required for it. And then, if you can't pick it up, if you can't be home at the time, then you can actually go pick it up at the location there. eBay does require you, I think, was it over $750 or above? It's mandatory. You have to have signature on your item if it's valued at that much. But it's just based on what your risk, is. Certain people put insurance on items, or certain people put signatures on items at different levels. So if you're okay not insuring an item or having a signature on an item up to an X amount of dollars, that's on you. You assume that risk. But if you do put a signature on there and you do have the item insured, it does help out your case a lot more if there's any issues.
Yeah. So I get mad if somebody puts a signature. I had same thing. And it really depends on the driver, because we're normally here, but like this shed that I'm in now is in the back of my house. I would not hear it if a UPS driver came to the front. So I just had a package last week that it took them 5 times to catch one of us. And we're here all the time, but like I'm out here working, Brooke might be in her room. We just don't. So if eBay requires it, I will do it. If they do not require it, I do not. I do insure it though. Anything over 100, I insure up to the value of the sale, but I don't do the signature. If you do the signature, definitely, like they said, definitely let that buyer know 100%, because like, again, if it's somebody with a Monday through Friday job, right, and they're never home during the business day when it's delivered, that's going to be difficult for them. So for me, unless eBay makes me require a signature, I do not. We got we both clicked. Me and Rod are like so honed in, we like click on the same thing at the same time. eBay guy sent a $10 super chat and said super chat train. I will not argue with a super chat train. I haven't seen a super chat train in a while. We used to do them a lot on some of the lives that I used to go in, which they're fun. Friendly reminder, if it has not yet been mentioned, there is less than a week left to use your Q2 coupon. So if you have not used your shipping coupon for the second quarter, make sure you do it, because after a week, it's going to roll to the Q3 coupon. That's crazy. How are we already in Q3? That is insane. All right, I'm going to do the eagle because I always forget about it. All right. Let's see. I'm like, where'd Elena go?
I know you did a super chat. She disappeared. Maybe we did another one. Maybe Marsha disappeared. I don't know. See what happens.
I let Louie out.
Okay. I was like, what is going on?
Where'd she go? Teresa said at Rod and Cat. So do you respond even to the positive reviews? Like, thank you or glad you like it or whatever. I've been responding and I'm not sure.
I responded to a positive review. This lady one time bought this bear that she had from her childhood, and she was so excited. And I told her that I really appreciated her positive review, and that really meant a lot to me, that I was able to find a toy that she cherished, that she had when she was little. So I have responded to positive reviews maybe just twice.
I maybe once or twice in the past, but I don't normally. I just make sure I leave feedback for them.
I do not. I have sold over 16,000 items on eBay. I have sold probably 5,000 plus on, I've sold like 5,000 plus on like Whatnot. I have sold District. I mean, I probably sold 25, 30,000 items over the last, all these years. It would take me the doomsday to leave a positive to respond to every one of those. So I just don't respond to them, unfortunately. It's just a time.
Okay, I have sold 22,000 items on eBay. And we sold like on Whatnot when I was doing it like hardcore.
Yeah, you priced like 20,000 items and Whatnot.
Way more in a year than 20,000. Because I was doing 100 plus a show 5 days a week. So I'm like Elena, where if what, huh?
If you click on your profile and Whatnot, it actually tells you how many items. I sold 6.3 thousand items and Whatnot.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Hold on. If we're doing the number thing, hold on. Let me click. Account. You sold how much?
6.3 thousand. I mean, that's just items, number of items, but
31.2 thousand. My
Cat, no one likes a one-upper, right? All right, I'm just going to say that.
Thank you. Yeah, so we sold 31,000 items on Whatnot. With a 5-star rating and average 1-day ship time, I must say. Okay.
Well, she used to do 5 shows a week too. So.
And we'll have we're doing 2 shows tomorrow. Collectibles and jewelry tomorrow. They are scheduled if you want to check my Whatnot. So if it's like something personal, like I had a viewer buy a ring and she put a picture, or a necklace, and she put a picture of the necklace on her and it was really pretty, I responded to that. So if it's something that's like a little more personal, or like their grandmother had it, or, something like that. Exactly, Karen, exactly. If it's more personal, I will, but it's like 1 in 1,000 that I'm responding to. It's not a lot. All right. Kat wants to know, do you get dinged for refunding shipping when you combine items because eBay would not combine them?
I don't think so. I've combined shipping and I've never gotten dinged for doing that. I'm not really sure what you mean by dinged.
No, it's not going to ding you. Just if you're just talking about the overage when you combined. I've done it quite often.
Yeah, eBay's not going to do it. They have that built-in feature on there that you can actually, the drop downs for the refund is for shipping refund. So yeah, you're not going to get dinged.
Yeah, I always just put other anyways, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I just always choose other, but you're not going to get dinged. I wanted to put this up here because if you guys don't know, Karen put, sometimes you get a discount offer if you abandon a shopping cart. Not on Amazon or eBay, but I have that option turned on Etsy. So if you sell on Etsy, that is an option you can turn on. So I think people learn, people know like, oh, if I leave this in my shopping cart, they're going to send me a discount. I have where if somebody abandons a shopping cart, I don't know what the length of time is, but I send them a 20% off offer to try and convince them to buy that item. So if you sell on Etsy and don't have that turned on, then I would turn it on because I think it's a good option to try and kick somebody in the butt that might have been window shopping to actually buy it. But that's why I want to put that up there.
So for the people earlier that we talked about that puts their stuff in the cart, right?
We're waiting for a discount.
That's right.
All right. Dub TV said, for someone just starting April 5th, what should a 90-day total be? And this is going to be really, really opinionated, and I think we can kind of just give some opinions on that. But they said they're at $12,000 for a 90-day total and just started in April. So you've got what, April to May, May to June. So you're less than 3 months in and at $12,000.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great.
It just depends what you're buying and selling, but 12,000 in 3 months is pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing, just keep whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
I think you should stop slacking and, no, that's awesome. No, you're doing good. I would just say it's really subjective because we don't know what you're selling. We don't know how much you're listing. So for us to really do that, but I would say this, like I would compare your first 30 days to your first 60 days to your first 90 days. And I'd break that down. If you see a progression where you're selling more items or your inventory is increasing, you're selling more items in there and you're taking steps in the right direction, that's all you really need. So as long as your business is progressing and moving forward, because we're all going to move at different speeds compared to how much we're listing, what we're buying, sourcing. But as long as it's going in the right direction, you're doing fine.
Yeah. So Dub Dinkle's in the chat and asking, they're right. You can sell 12,000 and your profit be 2. So that used to be my big thing with like my Amazon seller friends. I had a friend who was selling like 1.2 million a year and his profit was like 160,000. So he was not running much more than a 10% profit, but $167,000 in a year is not bad. But you got to be careful when you see those numbers, that you don't know if they're buying fast sell-through stuff for 50% of the cost, which is probably only going to net them 20 to 30%, if they're promoting. But yeah, I would ask that as well. And I would ask what your goal is, like it's good if that's what you want. If you want it to be more, then, put in more time. 50% profit is about me with my employees and like cost of goods. That's what I figure as well as 50%. So I would just figure out like what's your goal for the profit. So if your goal is, 10,000 for profit, then you want to be at 20. For me, like we're close to 40,000 right now on our 90-day, but that's taken me 5 years to build that, So I think 12,000 very, very good. I know a lot of people that aren't doing that after a year. So I think you're doing something right. And I think, again, 50% with cost of goods, fees. For me, I have payroll. So I have a couple extra things that a lot of people don't. But I think that's a great start for sure. Queen of Hearts wants to know, do you list on Shopify?
No.
No.
Nope.
No. And I'm going to tell you the reason. I think what a lot of people don't realize with Shopify is you have to get your own traffic there. Like eBay is bringing us millions and millions of buyers. Shopify is not bringing you any unless you're bringing them yourself. So, I mean, like for those of us here on social media, we might have an avenue. I I will tell you, do not always do well with bringing in buyers because I have sellers that watch me. They don't want to buy stuff. They want to sell stuff. So I think a lot of people don't realize, and that's why I don't complain about fees. Okay. Like the advertising, the time, the money, the brand, the reputation that eBay has, they've been around since the 90s. Like they're bringing us so many customers. I will give them that 20%, with my promoted fee. I'm fine with that. Poshmark also takes the same. So when people complain about fees, I'm like, hold on a second, buddy. Like if you had a retail space, you would have to pay for advertising in some, way, shape or form, whether it's radio or it's printing or whatever kind of advertising you're doing, you're going to be spending that money. So yeah, just realize if you do that, you have to have a way to drive your own traffic or pay a lot for Google ads or Facebook ads or, whatever ads you want. And then a lot of people want to do it to avoid the eBay fees and quickly realize that you're going to be spending more than you would pay in eBay fees. And
more time too.
Yeah. And you got to learn like the keyword, like I don't want to learn that stuff, Stephanie says, I've never been to an estate sale, but there are so many in my area. I would like to start going. Is there an etiquette that you follow if you go to them? Can you run comps at the sale?
So there's different estate companies that I go to and they have their rules. So like the ones that I go to the first day, it's usually full price. And I do run comps if I can see it beforehand. You just follow their rules. Everybody does things differently. And I've become friends with some of them and I'll bring them cookies just to be like, hey, you're doing a great job. And then they know me and they're like, oh, I thought of you. And I know you like plush, and they'll let me know when their next sale is, and they'll let me know what they have. So everybody has different rules. Just follow the rules, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll find at estate sales, especially first things in the morning, especially on the first day, a lot of the resellers that know exactly what they're going after when they go in. Some can get pushy. People can like to grab things out of other people's hands when they're going for stuff. Me, nothing's worth that. I just go in. If somebody else gets it first, somebody else gets it first. Don't get upset. Just, it is what it is. There's stuff to go around. And like she said, make friends with the estate sale companies too, because sometimes they'll like kind of put stuff aside sometimes too, if they know what you're looking for. But yeah, just be common and have courtesy, even though other people may not, but have it yourself.
So if you have a lot of estate sale companies in your area, you're going to learn really fast which ones to go to and which ones not to go to. So what I would recommend doing is keep a little on your notepad on your phone, write down every single estate company that you go to and take notes on them. If it's something that you should go there day 1, day 3, because some of them will price their stuff super low and you want to get there day 1. Some of them price their stuff super high, so you want to get there on day 2 or day 3 when they're doing the discount sales. Also, too, every single estate company has a mailing list. And when you go some to the mailing list, they'll send you pictures earlier in the week so can kind of plan out what time to get there, if you should get there or not. Make friends and let them know that you are a reseller and you do like to buy in bulk, so they will reach out to you. I've had sale companies reach out to me, have me come in early to do buys and stuff like that because they knew I buy in bulk and they can quick move things because the owners were in a hurry to get things out of there. But it's going to take a little time. I will say, at the end of the day, you'll probably narrow down to maybe like 2 or 3 different estate companies, and you'll skip the rest of them just because it's just not worth it. So,
yeah, I don't go to a ton, but I have been to a lot. I just like chilling on the weekends. So if I go, I'll go on like a Thursday or Friday, typically. I will run comps. I don't care where I'm at. Nobody can tell me what I can and can't do with my phone. I wouldn't, of course, if they asked me to put it away, I wouldn't like be a-hole about it. I probably wouldn't go back to one of their estate sales again, though. I'll tell you that.
Some don't like you to film either, so you got to be careful with that.
I haven't had any issues with filming at all. And if I do go to estate sales, I typically do film. I just think some of them are like free for alls. They're almost like the bins if there's good stuff. Some of them will have like sign up lists. So you would just have to learn, you know. For me, I pride myself on going like the last day, the last hour, and finding stuff that people have just missed for 3 full days. And I'm like, I can still go in there and find profit. I'm not big on it would take something absolutely incredible, and I'm talking like $500+ profit for me to get to an estate sale early and wait in line. I'm just not going to do it. And the hard part is a lot of times too, and go to estatesales.net if you haven't, and you can sign up for your zip code and they'll email you when there are estate sales in your area. A lot of them will put, like, if they do the sign up or things like that, if it's a small house, I've had them only let like 5 people in at a time. And then when one leaves, they'll go to the next person on the list. I actually like that because I don't like crowds and not having my space. I don't do very well with that. So just check each individual one. And for me, I remember the estate companies that I like how they run them. And those I will ask them personally, do they have an email list? Because a lot of them do. And then I'll get emails just for their estate sales. But yeah, I wouldn't go back somewhere I couldn't run comps. If I had signal, a lot of times around here I don't. So that's kind of a moot point if I can't get a signal. All right. Gangsta Kiwi says, how good are sales for antique art and prints? And would you recommend selling these?
I don't really sell art, so I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, I've got some I need to list, but I'm scared to because I'm not sure on specifics, because I can't even tell if it's an actual painting or just a embellished print, but I'm still trying to research. But I guess it depends on what kind of art that you have.
Pass a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on the kind. Like, I've found bird prints and nature prints to do very, very well. A lot of them you can find comps. If you Google Lens them, you can find like the actual print. I like them. I've sold like excerpts from magazines that were framed before, like with clothing items. I would recommend selling them because I like them. I think if you like them, it's easier to sell them. I think that's the case with almost anything.
I think nautical would do good too.
Yeah. So what I think of when I look at this stuff is, how am I going to keyword it? That is key. Because if you can keyword it well for stuff that people are looking for, like Marsha was saying, the nautical. So I've started for nautical putting beach house. When I have like the rustic stuff, I'll put cabin decor. Somebody also mentioned, and I don't think about it because there's not tons of lakes around me, but lake house, same thing. Like, a lot of people decorate lake houses with beachy stuff. So that would work. So, and I mean, just think of if you could keyword it. And a lot of times you get a big lot of them cheap, and I'm all about that for sure. All right. Teresa wants to know where to find the coupon. A lot of us, like, you can just Google it and it'll take you directly to it, like eBay shipping coupon link, and it'll just take you. But I think, let me see. I think it's one of the shortcuts. Like, if you go to my eBay selling, I'm going to look real quick. I'm going to search.
Hub marketing, subscriber discounts, something or other, or something, and then subscriber
eBay shipping supplies is under shortcuts. And then if you click that, I think it pops up. No, it didn't pop up the coupon. I don't know. I
went to marketing, and then it's like the
marketing discounts.
Yeah.
No, I lied. Marketing subscriber discounts.
That one.
I found it. Let's see. Did I use mine? Yeah. Oh, I had to use mine. Remember, I shared it last time someone asked, and I showed my code to everybody live. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Whoops. See, I would have done it again. I didn't learn.
But you have to have a store subscription in order to use the coupon.
Right. You have to have not the lowest. You have to have like the second tier up from the bottom. I think it's a $20 or higher store to
The
get
basic, not the starter, but the basic and up. Yeah.
All right. Catherine wants to know, do you charge tax on the items you sell?
Well, doesn't eBay do it automatically? I just put in the price and then eBay takes care of it.
Yeah, eBay takes care of all that. You don't have to deal with anything.
eBay takes care of it, or any online platform actually takes care of it.
Will do.
Yeah, it's the law. I would assume it's gotten to all states. It's slowly rolled out where like even what's that thing I use? Dang it. It's like Shopify, but it's not Shopify. What is it called? I don't even remember.
Shopify?
No, it's not Shopify.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I can't remember. Oh, man. I even have it. I'm going to have to go to my link tree. Hold on. I got to find it because it was one that I didn't expect to have them collect it. Let's see. Hold on. I'm finding it. Where is it? Why do I have so many things on my link tree? I can't even find it. Where's Brooke? Oh, nope, that's Spring. Anyways, I have my live classes on there like for purchase, and I couldn't even tell anybody where to go purchase it now. And it does the tax. So like all your major platforms are going to, but if you do live sales like on YouTube on your own, the tax is not collected. You legally would be responsible for collecting the tax unless PayPal might do that. So that might be a workaround around that for sure. Okay. We need questions. If you have questions, we're on it tonight. All right. Dinkle wants to know, do you have your own honey holes that have been consistent?
Bedding, linens, and I love it. So I think that's why I'm consistent with it, because I don't mind doing the research.
No, they mean places though. Where are you finding it?
Your Ocala bins.
Yeah. Oh, the bins. I've been.
Well, hold on. Before we say this, you don't have to actually say what your honey hole, like the location or something like that.
I mean, you can.
You can, but just
thank you so much, Spirit Junkie. I love you. Big Cartel.
Lately, for me, it's been the bins, and I go to several different ones in Florida.
Well, I now work at one, so. And we have great prices, very low prices. Ask Kat, she's been there.
Yeah, I mean, for the flea markets, I mean, I live in Florida, so I live in the land, as Kamala Picker says, the land of milk and honey, where everywhere in Florida is a honey hole because we can literally go pick all year round. So I am not lying to you when I say this. I can go to a flea market 7 days a week. If I travel up to 2 hours away from my house, there's a flea market every single day, Monday through Sunday. So I do really well. And then there's garage sales. Our garage sales are really good. So I have no problem finding merchandise. I literally I take off a lot during the summer going out hunting, sourcing just because it's so hot. But that's because there's just so much stuff here. It's a giant honey hole. The whole state of Florida is a honey hole.
Not the whole state.
Majority of it.
No, not up here.
And all four of us live in Florida, so.
We do, yeah.
We got it covered.
Yeah, like Marsha, where Marsha's working is one of my new favorite places to go. I've been going every Saturday. They always have good stuff.
And I have a video.
Whenever the three of us go to Key Training Thrifts in Jericho, they're consistent, not necessarily consistent on like high dollar profit items, but they're consistent on finding something that you can sell. My big honey holes for, oh crap, probably missed a bunch of stuff. I just realized that. Mine are mainly my online auctions. That's where I get the majority of my.
You got your dollar clothing store near you.
That's the Key Trainings. I said Key Trainings.
Oh, I thought you had a different one, like a little local one by you.
Theirs are $2. But I mean, it's still cheap. $2. Mark has decided to show up. I think he does it at 9/11 on purpose now, just because he knows I say it. So
he needs to go to work tonight.
Mark, get to work. Marsha's here. You got to do her work. All right. Here's Ron.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.
All right.
She's just waiting for me to say that now. She's like,
not doing it.
Here's a comment. Oh, okay, go ahead. Do that one first.
What did I miss? Drew wants to know, how would you recommend selling Star Wars Funko Pops? Would you do them in singles or lots? I think maybe only one of us is going to be able to help you.
So it depends. I would scan them first. If they're low dollar, sell them in lots. If they're high dollar ones, they still will sell. So a lot of people talk crap about Funko Pops. There is a huge market for Funko Pops still, but you want the ones that are from like older ones from like 2014 when they first came out, or you want the exclusive or special edition ones. So if they're just regular ones, lot them up and sell them. If not, if they're high dollar ones, then just sell them individually. Condition does matter though too. Remember that when it comes to boxes and those.
All right.
All right, let me pop this up real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This comment here to do with the
That's
arts.
not true. It's not bad.
That's what I'm just gonna say. Use pool noodles.
It's easier with the frame. The frame's protecting it.
Yeah. Pool noodles, bubble wrap, good to go.
Oh, you know what U-Haul has? Since I had to rent 2 U-Haul trucks in 2 weeks, and I had to get lots of U-Hauls, they have adjustable TV boxes that would be amazing for art. But here's the thing. Those are probably like $20 boxes. So you got to make sure if you get art, it's worth paying $20 for a box. But they slide, like adjust, and you like they have the corner. They showed me how I was impressed with this box. I was like, let me see that box, because it slides in and out. What are you eating? Dalton came in smelling like food. I'm like, what is he eating? This is a fun question. Patty wants to know, are any of us going on any cool vacations this year?
No, not really. We're just we're doing staycations.
That's pretty much like I do, because I don't like going away for any length of time. That's just me. I'm weird.
So I am going to, I actually just got approved for, because of my YouTube channel, for media passes for the National, which is the biggest sports car convention in the entire world. So I'm gonna go there. So I'll be going there. I'll be going to Chicago for that, which is cool. So that's next month, and potentially going. Me and my wife will be planning some vacations as well. I'm not sure. We're gonna hit Savannah up because that's where we got married. So we're gonna go back there, and then I know some other places. So.
Yeah, I think before summer's over, I'd like to do a trip to the mountains, maybe like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, or Blue Ridge, Georgia. So I would like to do that before summer's over. So I have to really think about that really fast. And my birthday this year is on Thanksgiving. And I talked to Brooke about, I'm thinking about going to either Hawaii or Australia for my birthday, aka Thanksgiving, because like since my divorce, like we really like spent most of the time there, and now we don't. So like this past year, my mom came over for like not even an hour, and I don't think my mom would be mad if we were gone for Thanksgiving. So, and I really want to go swim with sea turtles. So yeah, and it's crazy because the trip to Australia and Hawaii are very comparable. They're like the same price, but I need to figure that out too, because I'd have to get our passports. We don't have passports yet. So those are my two. And I love Vegas. I would love to go to Vegas again. I really love Vegas. And I know Katie and Vicky had told us we need to come back. They love Dalton, so we'd probably have a place to stay, which would be cool. You like Vegas too, huh? Yeah, Dalton likes Vegas too. He wants to go to the Museum of Science again. We didn't go last time because he had other places he wanted to go, and he was looking at pictures. He's like, I want to go there again. So yeah, that's the three I would really like to do. All right. Miss Pat says, how do I set it so eBay doesn't add? I don't know what she means. New listings to my sale. Does anybody know what she means?
I'm not sure.
Oh, if you're doing a sale, there's a button when you're setting it up to either add listings as you add them, and then or time frames to add as they come up. But you can uncheck that when you set up the sale. It's in there. I know what she's asking.
Yeah, what you just did, Marsha. So I think I'm glad to that.
Is there anything?
It's just a button when you're adding up your sale, how you want it, whether to add the new listings if they come up eligible to be in the sale, or if you don't want them to be added to the sale.
Oh, yeah. It's just a checkbox, right?
It's just a checkbox when you're setting up the sale to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me do this one. S. Gray. Oh, it was her question too that I was clicking on. So we're going to get her question right after this. She said, love your show and watery theme. I am a fish, my friends. I am in the water 6 to 7 days a week. It's really funny. And if you're Facebook friends with me, you saw I posted this. I posted an open invitation to people to go scalloping, and the boat is full. And now the next weekend boat's almost full. But I'm bad about being antisocial. I think people that really know me know that. I'm and I need to be more social. So I'm look, I got the boat, scallop season starts July 1st. Let's do it. And posted it. And it's really cool because a couple people I went to nursing school with that I haven't seen in years. Some of them 5 to 10 years. One of them is coming, and she's like, I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, me too. So people I lost touch with are coming. And then a guy I went to nursing school with, and I've taken him scalloping before. I love taking people because I have the ability to go on the boat. And if somebody doesn't, when I didn't have it, I would have loved somebody to be like, hey, you want to go on the boat? So I'm doing that. So yeah, super excited. I love the water. This morning I went to the springs. Okay. I was up way too late last night. Going through jewelry, and I got up late for the gym. I went to the gym. I drove in the springs, and there were about 30 cars at 9 o'clock in the morning and a school bus. And I turned right around and drove right out. I did not even get out of the truck. But then I went to Manatee, to the one that's closer to me, and it was low, and I got to do my swimming. So now I know if it's late, I'm going to Manatee, but I forgot the current was so bad at Manatee. It's much more of a workout than Fanning, where I've been going. I was like, oh my God. So yeah. All right. Super chat. I'm getting off track. I haven't done my whale yet, and that's a fun one. Here you go. All right, let's see. S. Gray is saying, how much to charge for 100% vintage cotton double sheets when most people have queen beds now? So I'm going to go ahead and answer this and say that is going to vary from $5 to $500 because it depends on the brand. So if it's Percal muslin, then not just the brand, it's going to depend on the pattern. If they're solid, they're not going to sell for much. If they're fun, boho, hippie, floral, they can go for $30. They still sell, and I think a lot of people might repurpose the fabric. That's why I think the printed ones sell for more. So you really need to, if you have a tag you can still read, look up the tag and the specific color. And if not, do a Google Lens for the print, because I price according to print. I don't even look stuff up. I'll price me, if I have the set and it's a good print, I'm going to do $40 on it. If it's plain, I'm probably going to do 20 without a brand. But I wouldn't pick up plain without a brand. All right. Sarah sells smalls by the seashore. Is there a way to cancel one item in an eBay order? I refunded the buyer the one item because somehow I double listed.
Is there a way to cancel one item? So are you saying that you had the same item twice?
I think so.
Yeah, I would just cancel it and just let the customer know that it was double listed.
Yeah, I would probably cancel the whole order and have them just buy the one, because otherwise they're going to say they didn't receive one of the items. Even if you refunded them some money, but they're going to say they didn't get the one item.
So it sounds like that did you sell a lot of items, like in a lot, or did this buyer buy multiple items from you? Because if it's just one single item, it should be no issue to actually just cancel that one item and then just issue a refund. What I would do is I would message the buyer first, let them know, say, hey, this item was accidentally relisted. I'm so sorry. I can issue you a refund if you'd like, or if you like something else in my store, you get a discount off that item or something like that. 99% of the time, they're going to send you a message, say, just give me a refund. Then you can do buyer requested refund. That way your account doesn't get dinged.
Yeah, she said she told her and that she still wanted it. I have refunded and not canceled. If they bought like 4 or 5 items, I've been like, hey, I refunded the entire price for this, including your shipping. And then I refunded the like overage on shipping. And I have never had an issue. Like if the buyer's being agreeable, I have not canceled. I've just sent the refund and left it be. Oh, here. I got a message. Somebody's locked out of YouTube, but they would like to ask questions. Do any of us sell shoes? And if you do sell shoes, do you find that it's important to keep shoes in an indoor climate controlled area?
I've only sold a few pairs of shoes, and I do keep them in my cottage that is air conditioned, just because I've read about shoe rot. So definitely, if you're going to sell shoes, you want them in an air conditioned environment, or if you're up north and it's cold in the winter, you don't want them to get too cold either. So
yeah, I don't normally sell shoes, but that reason is a big reason why, but I have sold them in the past. But even if they're in a climate controlled environment, they can still dry rot just from age. So, because I had a pair of sandals that were just sitting around for a while, and I did the twist test before I shipped them out from an order, and they snapped in half. So
you gotta be careful of that.
So that's kind of why I'm getting away from shoes. I just don't want to deal with them.
Even when you go to thrift stores or where you're at like garage sales, like especially like certain things, you need to bend the bottom of them. Yep. See if they. I've been at thrift stores. I went to bend it, it cracked right in half, and I was like,
put it back.
But yeah, because they're just dry rotted, so that's a good way to tell.
Yeah, mine are all and I think there are very few things, and people don't realize this. And I talked about it. I did a shed video and showed my sheds. Because we have constant air conditioning, which dehumidifies the sheds as well. We have insulation in all of them. And I have seen a lot of stuff get ruined. And one of them, I even have AC and had a dehumidifier and still had stuff mold in Florida because our humidity is so high. I think there's very few things like glass. Glass should be okay. Not in freezing though. It'd be fine like in the heat and stuff. And then, but there's very, like even jewelry, because jewelry could get like tarnished and like jewelry could get ruined in a non-climate controlled. So you could, like if you get good totes that are airtight, I think you would be fine for as long as they're not there a long time. You know, if it still is kind of iffy, but that would be better than, you know, nothing if you don't have another option. Patty, she's asking when will I do videos on the new LP feature. I really need to do them like yesterday. I said I was going 2 months ago. I recorded my videos today for the upcoming week, so I will try to do it next week, which would mean it would come out probably a week from Friday. I will try. I'm gonna write a note. I have to write a note, my brain's. It's weird the things my brain retains and doesn't retain. I can't explain it. Like I'm horrible with names. If you have ever met me, I really am not good with my brain just doesn't remember names. It's nothing personal, I promise. I even try and put it in my notes. Like when I meet you guys out thrifting, I'm like, oh, I'm going to say in the video that I met so-and-so. And then I'm like, who was that?
Yeah,
and I can't remember.
Kat, you just actually got my name right for the first time, like last week. So we're good to go.
Calling him Rob for years.
Yeah, it's called me Rob for years. That's weird. So I got to the point where I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm Rob. So.
All right. We're going to let Rod answer this because he's the one that said it. Do you think Florida is a honey hole because people go here to retire and bring all their lifetime treasures?
Yes and no. So when people move to Florida, they actually downsize, believe it or not. So they actually have less items when they come to Florida than what they have. Because if you ever go to a retirement community yard sales, they're the worst. You have one table set up at 22 different houses because they have nothing better to do. Come walk outside with 10 items on their table. So now the reason why Florida is a honey hole is because we can go sourcing all year round. When I lived in Pennsylvania, I only could go sourcing 6 months out of the year. And out of those 6 months, maybe 4 were actually good because of rain, weather, other things that played into it. Where in Florida, like it is a retirement state. So people will do a random yard sale on a Wednesday, or they'll have time to go to a flea market on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know? Like the biggest flea market in all Florida is Webster Flea Market. It's on a Monday. Yeah. So like, I mean, while everyone's at work and I just go to a flea market and hang out at the flea market sometimes. So it's a honey hole because we can pick all year round because the weather's really nice and there's a lot of places to do it. And not to mention add in the factors that people do come here to retire. So there's a lot more people that are willing to go to flea markets and other things like that.
All right. This is fun. Finish this sentence. eBay takes up blank rooms in my house. Do it in the chat too. Ooh. I do eBay. She's saying she does eBay in every room of her house except the bathroom.
Right now, 3 rooms in the house. My metal building is almost completely done. We're putting in the split unit, and once the split unit is in, everything is going to be out of this house. So hopefully soon. And I think my computer's about to die. I'll be right back. Let me go grab the charger.
eBay takes up 1 4-foot table here, right next to me, and my shipping table in the garage because I live with my parents at the moment and everything's in a storage unit. So I go back and forth to the storage unit almost every day.
So I have 2 shipping warehouses. I have a garage. I have 2 offices. We have another spare room. I have another closet. Yeah, like 4 or 5 rooms it pretty much takes up. So yeah, my business is, you know, I buy out a lot of collections, and unfortunately, when you're one-man operation, when you buy out collections, that stuff starts piling up when you get the good stuff listed, and then I need to hire people. That's what I need to do, to be honest with you.
You just need to sell more stuff.
Maybe like a tiny, and it's not eBay. Whatnot stuff is not all migrated out here, but the majority of it has. So for me, it is 0, and it was so friggin' amazing to get it out of my house. When we got the first shed, this is the second shed, and then I decided to use my extra house. So I don't have, unless it's stuff I wanted to decorate with, it's not in my house for eBay, nothing. The only exception is stuff I'm decorating with until it sells. I like, it drove me crazy. I had a set of 3 paintings that were in succession. They were great egrets, like the 2 of them, then the 2 of them with the eggs, and then the 2 of them with the babies. And somebody bought 1. And I was like, there's 2 more in the set. And they're like, no, I just want 1. I'm like, okay. So now I have the 2 left in my bathroom, and I'm like, oh. But I didn't list them as a set of 3. So yeah. Pre-Love Bargains is asking what scalloping, and I saw people saying you dig in the mud. You don't dig in the mud. So you're thinking of clamming. Clams are in the mud. Scallops are not in the mud. Scallops are filter feeders, so they through the ocean. So it's actually like, and Rod has went scalloping with me. I've taken Rod. Him and Jess came
and
with us scalloping. We didn't find a ton, but it happened. But it's fun to do. So it's like underwater Easter egg hunting, and you snorkel and you look for them. And then when you see them, you dive down and you pick them up. And 99% of the time they don't move. You grab them and that's it. But I've had a few times where they're like, woo, 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 through the water, like they're running away, but that's very rare. Some people will use nets if they can't dive down that far, because it can be like 6 to 8 feet of water, sometimes a little bit more. So you have to be a pretty strong swimmer. But yeah, it's underwater or Easter egg hunting. And I love any kind of treasure hunting, including scalloping. And then it's always a competition. You got to see who gets the most. And, yeah. Do I have water themes because I'm a mermaid? If you've watched me long enough, I used to really have mermaid hair. I had purple and pink and blue hair for a while. And then I quit doing that. But I like I said, I'm in the water 6 days a week. I love the water. I got a mermaid cup from my thrift store here locally that said like undercover mermaid or something 2 days ago. So I thought that was funny. All right. Cheryl wants to know, when you find embroidered linens, how do you know if they are vintage, or should I get them anyways because they will sell if they're nice?
That's a good question. If they look really good and they're reasonable price, I just buy them and then I'll research it, because it's hard to tell when you're at the store. For us, a lot of the stores we go to, we don't have any reception. So, and we usually go when it's half off day. So I would tend to buy. I usually fill up my cart, right, Kat?
Yes, I always fill up my cart.
You fill up 2 carts, Kat.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, vintage or not, if they're nice and embroidered, yes, buy them. People will still buy them whether or not they're vintage.
Pass the cat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like over the years I've kind of gotten a sense for like the style and the way things were embroidered, but there's no way to know 100% that something is vintage. But you don't know and they don't know. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's very rare you're getting a provenance like, oh, my Aunt Sue made that in 1978.
I've got some from my grandmother from the 40s that she had embroidered.
Yeah, like that stuff, but I mean, at the thrift store, you're not getting provenance with them. It's just looking and telling. Like, they're not going to have a tag. I'll tell you, I've seen some stuff that I really thought was vintage that had a tag, and I'm like, that's not vintage. So yeah, a lot of the styles and watching and seeing so many. But again, like, you can't know 100%, but neither can the buyer. So yeah, I would buy them whether they were vintage or not, if they were nice. If you have a question, feel free, put it in. We don't have many questions. We're getting to them fast. All right. This is one of the questions. I don't know. This says it's for Rod.
You can all answer it.
Yeah, everybody answer it. So if you, they're saying they use poly bags for shipping clothing. Can you put shoes in a poly bag? So what's your answer to that?
So I have put like sandals, flip-flops, but not hiking shoes or anything like that. Just depends on the shoe. And if it's under $15, I guess it just depends on the shoe and if it's going to get crushed or not in a poly mailer.
Yeah, I think the same thing. But when I was selling shoes, regardless pretty much of what it was, I just use a box just to be on the safe side.
So using a box can actually, depending on the weight of the shoe, could actually bump it up an extra pound, depending on it. Some shoes are heavy. So I ship a lot of my shoes in poly bags. I'll just wrap it up. I'll throw a bubble wrap around it and throw it in a poly bag and then ship it out. Never really had any issues. Now, if I'm not going to ship like Jordans or like Yeezys or anything like that. That's going to go in a box. Or if something has to get authenticated, I'm going to put it in a box, because the box is part of the authentication process. You can't have any dings or damage to it. So if you do ship that box in a poly bag and it gets crushed or damaged, authentication is going to kick it back to you. So if it's going through authentication, ship in a box. If it's cheaper shoe, like $50 and under, I'm just going to throw in a poly bag and maybe throw a little bubble wrap around it and then ship it off.
Yeah, so around here, anything over $50 goes in a box. I don't care what it is. If it's over $50, it's going in a box. For shoes, like tennis shoes, I'm probably in sneakers. I'm not putting them in a poly bag, even if they're $20 tennis shoes. Just because I feel like they could get squashed and misshaped, but I wouldn't sell them if they were lower cost either. So I guess I should say that. But like flip flops, Crocs, things like that aren't going to get squashed, those I would put in a poly bag. But I would say 80% of the shoes we sell go in boxes. Here's a fun question from Sarah Sells Smalls. What's the thing that makes you the most happy?
You mean resale, Rise?
Anything, I think.
Just being a positive influence and helping others. That makes me happy.
Now, how can you stop that? My kitties make me happy. My pets.
Man, there's so much that makes me happy. And working for myself makes me happy. Being around my family, my pets, sports cards, going garage sailing. Like, I'm just a happy person just in general. So life is too short. You want to enjoy every moment of it. So you control your own destiny. You can make yourself happy or not happy. Remember, you control that.
Getting up every morning.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
Yay.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, to be honest. And for me, definitely like family is first and foremost. Behind that, it's going to be the water. And me, like getting to go swimming every day at the springs. Like we have like these amazing they're like natural wonders, that most people don't have access to. I have 2 of them within 15 minutes of my house, and it is so beautiful and so relaxing when there's not 30 cars in a school bus full of kids. But it's easy to, I guess, like take that for granted, and it's really like, it's amazing to be able to do that. And I was speaking with Leah. That's the one I told you I went to nursing school with her, and she's coming on the boat. And she's like, I am jealous. She's like, you're going swimming every morning. Like you're doing what you want. Like this, like we're living the dream. I can go swimming every morning, go to the gym every morning, and I just work later. I can do whatever I want. And I'm able to go first thing in the morning when nobody's there, if I wake up on time. And yeah, I mean, like, I think everything I'm doing, and I think just appreciating what you have. It's easy to think about what you don't have, but think about what you do have. And I mean, like, yeah, there are people that have more than me, and there are a lot of people that have a lot less. And yes, I bust my butt. I will tell you guys, though, one of my pet peeves, like I go get a massage every week, every Wednesday. And when I say that, people are like, oh, you're so lucky. No, like, don't tell me I'm lucky when I bust my ass to do it and earn the money and pay for it.
Just say it.
I'm not lucky. Like anybody could have you could have a massage twice a week, bust your butt, work hard, and pay for it. I'm not lucky. Like, that's not lucky. Like, it's not, like, none of it is luck. I bust my butt for what I have. So when people say, oh, I'm like, well, I hate when people say that.
I think what people don't understand is that in life, there is timing. I mean, there is slight luck to certain things, but you have to put yourself in a position to get lucky too. You know what I mean? To be able to, people like, oh, you find all this good stuff out there. You're so lucky. I'm like, but no, I go to 50 different yard sales because I'm busting my butt, like Kat just said, and I'm in the right place at the right time because I put myself in those places to have opportunities to happen. So it's the people that sit back and just don't, once again, you guys control your life. You can look at the glass as half full, half empty. That's up to you. Okay, you can wake up every day and be happy or
make
miserable.
your own luck.
Yes, make your own
and
luck.
The same thing about Florida.
Yeah.
I'm like, to my knowledge, everybody picks where they live.
Correct.
Like, we can all move unless you're on probation or something. But like,
you can live in Idaho or North Dakota and still have the same exact business that you have now, because you would go online,
right.
you would
I
find
could
the
go to
auctions.
Hawaii.
But no, you would go online, you would find the auctions, you would have it shipped to you, you would find a way to make it work. You know, so like people have to have the mindset, like you control your own destiny. If you have the mindset, you're going to find out how to do it, make it work, or if you're happy, or if you want to be happy, what's going to make you happy? Okay, what do I have to do to work there to get happy? So, Kat, I know you could live anywhere and do the same business model you're doing right now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I could literally, like, anywhere in the world, honestly.
It's a mindset.
I could buy it. And I mean, that's the thing too. And I think people that have watched me for a long time know, like, anybody can do this. We've had people that are blind that are doing it in the Blind Center in Las Vegas. They're blind and they're selling on eBay. You can be disabled and you can figure it out. The big thing for, like, where there's a will, there's a way. You can make it happen. So for me, hearing excuses, I don't tolerate excuses very well, because yes, ambition without action equals anxiety. It's so funny. Look, here's my thing. I have this calendar. I have one in the house too. And the thing for today says, I love life because what else is there? And I mean, you can either dwell on the negatives and dwell on what you don't have and why you can't do good on eBay, or you can figure out how to do good and stop complaining about it. Like, anybody can make this work. Anybody.
One of my favorite quotes by Henry Ford is, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. 100%. Yep. It's a mindset. If you already had the decision, I can't do something, then you can't. Instead of thinking, you should always think, how can I do this? Not I can or I can't do this. How can I do this? Just change your mindset, guys.
Yeah, the way you think, like, 100% governs what happens. Like, manifesting, like, if you live like you're getting what you want, you're gonna get it. And it's easy. And I'm not saying, and I will tell, I am a big time optimist, and I am positive, probably 90%. I have my days. I think we all probably have our days. I have my days, but instead of like the poor me, I'm figuring out how I'm going to fix it, how I'm going to make it better. And like, I'm not going to dwell on something I can't change. It is what it is. I'm going to go do what I can change, and that's kind of the bottom line for me. This is a fun question, and I don't think we've ever gotten it. And I think it's a really good one. Teresa wants to know, how do you deal with questions regarding the color of an item?
So I like to sell a lot of decorating items like curtains, and sometimes if they message me personally, I will take the picture of the item in natural light and I'll put taupe with the grayish undertone. A lot of times if I sell an item that has multicolors, I'll just put multicolors. I'm not going to get into specifics because I cover myself that way unless they ask me a question or try to do the crayon. But who's going to have crayon? Crayon. So I try to do multicolor as much as possible in my listing. I hit that button.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. I just had a guy bought some knitted golf club covers from me, and they were like a turquoise blue, but I had just put like blue in the title because I didn't want to say turquoise teal, because some of those kind of all go together. So I just put light blue. And of course he sends me a notice and said, this isn't the blue that was in the pictures. Well, monitors can look different too with colors. So sometimes you may just have to think of an everyday common item that they would know what that color meant. Like a Tiffany blue, or
don't put it in your title though.
Not in your title, but I mean, if you're answering a question, or like a blue on a Pepsi can. Everybody knows what the blue on a Pepsi can looks like. It's a solid blue, or from the flag or whatever.
just do what I do. Just tell them you're colorblind and that for them to use their best judgment, and you're good to go. It's a way to avoid all that. No, I try to. I will tell people sometimes though, and someone does ask me because about color. Sometimes in the light that you do take a picture or something, it does change the color of it or the shade of it. So I would put in the description that due to the lighting that this looks more gold than silver or something along the line. So I've done that too because sometimes I take picture like Disney pins, like due to the lighting, it'll look a shade off color or something like that.
This is hard, and like Marsha was saying, different monitors, different phones, like they display the colors differently, and like
Correct.
I mean, I'll answer them, but like you could take and okay, let me preface this. If it's over $25, I will answer them. If it's under, I'm probably just going to pretend I didn't see the question. Because I'm not going to go get the item, take it outside in the sun, try and get it, with, specific lighting. Even though the color charts, like with fluorescent lighting compared to LED lighting and your phone adjusting, it's hard. And some colors are harder than others. We found some colors we can put like white or black behind them, and then we get the true color. We try and pay attention if we notice it shows up in the pictures way different than what like we're seeing with our eyes, and try and either put white or black behind it to get it. But in natural light outside, I think it's probably the best way if it's something, again, for me, if it's worth the time. And if not, I've had some though where I've taken a picture of the tag up close and the color on that is more accurate than like the overall shirt. And I'll say, hey, see the picture with the tag because that is a more accurate representation. I can tell them if it's more gray or blue, but if they're asking me, is it like turquoise or, if it's too specific, I'm staying away from them. Somebody said if they ask, block them. Because they're going to not be happy with the daggum thing. All right. Sandy wants to know, before you list a high dollar shoe, do they have to be authenticated?
I don't sell that many shoes, and what I've sold, I haven't had to have authenticated because I think my most expensive shoe that I've sold was $50.
Yeah, I don't sell high dollar shoes either.
So I have sold a ton of high dollar shoes. They don't have to be authenticated before you sell them, but make sure that you know where they came from. Make sure you know the history of those shoes. Make sure you know that they are legit. If you question them at all, there's apps you can get, like the Check app. You can download to your phone. You pay a couple bucks, and you can actually take pictures of it, take pictures of the tags, all different sides of it, and they'll respond to it within a couple hours on the app if they think it's authentic or not. I would rather you do that than put your account in jeopardy at all, because last thing you want to do is start listing a ton of shoes that you're questionable and then get popped through the authentication process and keep getting dings against your account, which will eventually get your account shut down. So I would do everything in my power to protect my account as much as possible. But I have sold a lot of high dollar shoes where I knew exactly where they came from, or I had receipts for them. So it just depends on what you get. But the Check app it's not 100% accurate, but it will help you eliminate probably 90% of the issues.
Yeah, so for me, if I will pay for them to be authenticated if they're valuable and I have any question about their authenticity. If I know where they came from, like I got a bunch of stuff from Shannon that she bought from the store, like that stuff I'm not going to get authenticated. Mark does a lot of shoes. He's saying to use Check,
Yep.
so that's a good tip there. But yeah, so if I have a question about it, I'm going to get them authenticated somewhere.
Also, too, guys, if you guys have, when you do list it, we'll tell you in the listing if it has to go through authentication. It has to be shipped through FedEx, and eBay will provide you the shipping label. And then make sure that you list any flaws, not only on the shoes but also on the box, because if the box has creases and stuff like that, and you don't just show pictures of that or put that in your description, authentication process can kick it back and deny your thing saying it's not authentic. That wasn't fully listed properly. So just make sure that you guys list the box and the shoes accurately.
S. Gray says, I'm like zoning. I read using baking soda, vinegar, and boiling water to bulk clean sterling jewelry can damage it, and long-term dips are harmful. I have a lot of sterling jewelry, and cleaning it is an ongoing chore. Where's the rest of it? Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, plus aluminum. So I guess any tips as far as that? You're gonna laugh at what I say, and people that know me know what I'm gonna say.
Well, I do what Kat says and people like the patina on the sterling silver, and I just sell it like it is. And if I have to clean something, I just wipe it. I don't want to deal with all those chemicals, because some people like it to look some people like the patina. So
I was going to say the same thing. I don't clean it unless if I have to clean something, it's just with a little polishing cloth for sterling, and take lots of pictures, and just to clothes that had some patina or scuffing or whatever, and that's it.
The only thing I do is wipe the dust off with a microfiber cloth, and the rest of it, let the buyer will pick and choose if they want to clean it or keep it as is.
Get your toes out of my camera, son. I don't clean any jewelry. I think Shannon will with a polishing cloth because she's OCD. But I don't clean it at all. And I sell a lot of sterling, and I sell a lot of sterling high dollar, and I do not clean anything at all. All right. Last question. We got through all of them, and then we will let everybody say bye, and Rod and myself will tell you what we have going on. We have been on it with the questions tonight. Pre-Love Bargains wants to know, what do you do for health insurance?
Well, my husband works for a major company, and we are insured through his company. We're fortunate enough to have that benefit.
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't have health insurance, so I don't.
I am insured under my wife's job. My wife works at the local hospital, so we have insurance to do her job.
So I buy it through Healthcare Marketplace, and I do get a little bit of a credit, not much. And for myself, Dalton, and Brooke, it's $1,200 a month, and it is not that great. So I don't want to sugarcoat that and make it sound like it is. But I will tell you, when I had to have emergency surgery in January, it was, I think, over a $70,000 bill. I did have to pay $7,500. I am paying a car payment for the next 3 years to pay for my surgery. Luckily, there's no interest. And so, like, for me, coming from healthcare, I know, like, yes, we're healthy. None of us have any, like, major medical issues. But all it takes, who would have thought, like, my gallbladder was going to have to come out? Like, I had no indications. I have no history of that. And again, that was a $75,000 bill, and I'm not happy I'm paying $7,500, but that's better than owing $75,000. So for me, having it is important. I might change it to like a lower plan. I'm scared to go off Blue Cross and Blue Shield because there's like some other company I've never heard of, and it was like only like $600 a month, so it was half the cost. But I don't know. And like, we do virtual visits for a lot of things, and there's no copay for virtual visits, so I really like that. But yeah, so it's super expensive, and it still has ridiculous copays. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. It just sucks. And I thought when I got divorced, it would go down, and it did go down for $100 till the new rates came out the next month, and then it went right back up. So, and the car insurance on the truck, my business policy, I took him off, and it increased. The cost increased taking a driver off. Like, how the heck does that make sense? Like, it makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. All right, what? Do you know? It is confusing. I thought Dalton might have some words of wisdom for it. All right. I'm going to make Elena big, and then Marsha, and then Rod and myself will tell you what we have going on. So here is Miss Elena.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed being here, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.
Perfect. Here is Miss Marsha.
Sorry, multitasking here. Trying to get these links. Yes, thanks for having me again, guys. It's great to see everybody every week. I put out a video last week, like I said, of the new thrift store that I am working at. Did it behind the scenes, even showed you the intake area and everything and how we do things. So please check that out. I am at 815 subs, so I'm almost to the 1,000. I do need a lot more watched hours, though. So put me on mute and just let everything play. You don't even have to listen to my voice. And I guess that's it right now. Thanks.
Perfect. Rod, what's going on, my
Dropped a
friend?
brand new video on my picking and punching cards tonight. I'll have a new video tomorrow on picking and punching. Tomorrow night I'll be live on District Card or Debit Cards. I'll be doing a football box break, so we'll be ripping a bunch of football stuff. And then on next Monday I'll be doing a non-sports break. We ripped some Rolling Stones cards last night and pulled out. Someone who bought a pack for $20 hit a $400 plus card. So I'm having a lot of fun over there doing sports and non-sports stuff. So come check it out.
Yeah, so we have, I said it earlier, we have 2 shows scheduled for Whatnot tomorrow. The first is going to be like knickknacks and collectibles. And I will tell you there is stuff in there where $30, $40. We're starting at either $2 or $3. So there is profit to be made on that stuff. If it wasn't worth $50, I did not put it in. And I might have missed some things because I'm going through so much. I'm going through fast. But I know for a fact a lot of $40 items for $2 and $3. And then we're doing jewelry later on in the day tomorrow. And next week, Rod, we don't have any guests.
For next week?
Cool.
Oh. We start scheduling for July. I guess we forgot about next week.
Well, next week's a surprise.
Surprise.
We'll have somebody.
Me and Kat planned that.
Yeah, we planned it. I've got to figure it out. I did 2 thrifting videos this weekend, but I forgot to do the hauls, and I don't even know where I put the stuff. So I've got to find the stuff I bought at the thrift store. Step 1.
Probably still in your truck.
And it's in the truck somewhere. So maybe tomorrow or Thursday I'll put out a thrifting video. Tomorrow I'll have my what sold. Again, we've done $4,500 in sales in the last week. And then Friday is going to be a high dollar what sold, which is crazy. I had enough in 1 week to make a video on it. All high dollar, and a lot of it sold within a week, which is incredible. So watch for those. As always, thank you guys in the chat. We could not do it without you. Rod, thank you for coming back. And Marsha and Elena, I appreciate you. Mark, thank you for actually coming.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Want to say bye?
Bye.